We are all very excited for Battlefield 1, but to get the game that we actually want, we need to tell the developers what we want to see in the game and what we don't want to return. What's going on, guys? Blue and Soon here, and welcome to my top 10 list of things I want in Battlefield 1. Now, this isn't mainly the 10 things I most want in the game. This is just 10 things that I really thought it's important that we see this change, or important that we see something like this in the game, or even things that I think would be a nice little addition to the game. Now, of course, your opinions matter as well, so go down below and tell me in the comments anything you want to see that I didn't address, and possibly any changes you make to something that I had, or even a problem with something that I had. If an idea that I said isn't any good and you want to tell me that, go ahead and do that. You know, all feedback is great. Try and keep it positive, though. That being said, we're going to jump straight into the first point, and this is a steady launch. If you played Battlefield 4 at launch, you remember the game was pretty bad. Personally, I feel I got lucky. I remember I counted at one point, I think I had 8 crashes within a month, which sounds crazy, but as far as I know, people had way worse, PCs crashing in general as well. I only ever had game crashes, that was it, and a few graphical issues and things not loading and stuff like that, but that was about it for me. But overall, the launch was really just insufficient for this type of game, and you know how popular the game is. It really should have been better. But Battlefield Hardline had a much better launch, but we have seen that games can have an extremely steady launch and work instantly after release. Overwatch has shown us this, so it's a question why that can't work with Battlefield 1. Now you might say, hang on, what's a good launch? You know, why does that need to be so good? Because if a player plays the game at launch and it's terrible, they're probably not going to come back and play more of it unless they have a reason to. So if they play the game and it works fully and it's really entertaining, they'll come back and play the game more. Now, point number 2 is Battlefront-like graphics. If you play Battlefront on console or PC even, the game looks fantastic. It does look similar to Hardline, and they have passed on the graphics from that, but I personally don't like the way Hardline looks. To me, the depth of field is all wrong. I struggle to focus on things that are close or far away. It's too shiny, and in general, orange lights and stuff are just way too bright. For me, Battlefront got it perfect. I really want to see the game have those type of Battlefront graphics that are slightly gritty, but at the same time, you know, very easy to look at, and it doesn't strain you too much, and also you can clearly see everything that's going on. Now, this one will divide some people, but personally I think most people will be on my side. I don't want to see any kind of mortar or sort of personal artillery in Battlefield 1. For me, it just kind of ruins the game in a way, and you just find people sat at the back of the map doing absolutely nothing, and really just wasting time and just sort of waiting for the rest of the team to try and win the game. Now, of course, you play the game the way you want to play it, but I think most people understand what I'm saying, in the fact that you end up having 3 or 4 players just sat at the back of the map with mortars, doing absolutely nothing, thinking they're actually helping the team, when in reality they're not really doing much at all. Rather than having some kind of balancing system where they'll give you a mortar, but you only have a certain amount of shots or something like that, I personally think it should just be upright removed. There is no need to have it in the game, really, because the players who use it tactically and, you know, place it somewhere, destroy everything around it, and then move up and use it to take out enemies behind cover. Rarely will you find those, and honestly, it's too common with these people who just sit at the back of the map and use it. So it should upright just be removed, in my opinion. Now, this is another one that will actually divide the community in a way. I want to see unlocks and weapons unlocked during ranks. I don't like the Hardline system of you can buy any gun at any time. The reason being is because I believe the guns that are really good are just left out. You can see here in this gameplay in Hardline I'm using the M16. This is the first gun I bought, and it's basically the only one I use. I've barely used the other guns in the game. If I didn't do YouTube and had to provide different gameplay, I wouldn't bother. I just used this the whole time. So for my opinion, it does actually sort of promote that gameplay where everyone goes, oh hey, this gun is really good, don't bother using everything else. Now, with the unlock system, sure, you are technically forced to use the not-so-good guns, but it means that they're at least used. It means that you see some variety of weapons on the battlefield, rather than M16 every single time, or M416. You know, you do begin to see people using certain guns, and it can actually make you realize, hey, this gun isn't so bad. The FAMAS, I would have never used it by personal opinion, but because I had to unlock more guns and I used it, I realized, hey, it actually kind of works with me, and it's a lot of fun to use. And now next up for the number 5, I want a better specialization system. Now this is always a weird topic in Battlefield, because you question, do you even need specializations? Now, I don't want to see anything like the defensive specialization that allows you to take more damage, or anything that changes your damage output or resistance. I want to see just things like carry more grenades, you can throw ammo packs quicker, things unique and not so variant from the class. So, you know, you carry more RPG shells, or, you know, things like that. RPG has a wider area of effect but doesn't do as much damage. That's a hard one to do, but just an idea. I really dislike the whole Hardline and Battlefield 4 system as well. Of Battlefield 4, you slowly go up through the ranks and get everything, and Hardline, you pick one when you get to certain levels. I've never got to consistent number 4, and it's just a pointless system, really. What I would like to see is just we pick one specialization for your personal self. That means you can take more grenades or things like that, and then you pick a squad leader personalization, where if you are the squad leader, your personalization will affect everyone else. Now, again, this won't be anything crazy. Maybe its suppression has less of an effect, but I don't like the system of Battlefield Hardline and Battlefield 4. Now for the next one, this is definitely something I don't think we'll see, but there's always a chance, so I want to put it in here anyway. And that's not having exclusive weapons in battle packs. One of the huge things in the Call of Duty community right now is supply drops, and the fact that certain weapons are only available from the supply drops. Now the problem with this is that means you can either pay a ton of money to then get these weapons, or play the game an absolute bunch and have the slightest chance of ever getting one of these weapons. And you're probably thinking, oh, what's the problem? What's the problem with that? You know, that's the way it is. The problem then is you're not getting what you really paid for. You know, you're getting stuff that is coming out, but you're not getting it. Even if you have a season pass, there's no guarantee you'll get these new weapons. And Hardline had something similar to this, where it had the precision battle packs and such, but they were more pre-order exclusive guns. I still don't want to see that. I'm fine if you put attachments in, or melee weapons, that's perfectly fine, but I don't want whole guns being left in battle packs, of which you have to either pay for them or play so much of the game that you begin to unlock them. I personally really dislike that system. So for number 7, I want to see clever vehicle damage, and what I mean by that is when I shoot at a airplane, I want to see the bullet holes appear where I'm shooting, or, you know, panels on the airplane start to come off. This is quite hard to do, but games like War Thunder have definitely shown you can do it. Similar for tanks, if I shoot a tank at a certain spot with, you know, if I throw a grenade in maybe, and it damages the tank, I want to see the certain panel on the side of the tank fall off, so I can clearly see that I'm doing damage. I don't want to have weak spots where if you shoot it you're going to do more damage than others, aside from of course the back of tanks, because that is, you know, the best way to take out a tank, and I think they should keep that in, but I don't want these developments where a panel falls off to then be a weak spot. This isn't entirely necessary, but it definitely looks good, and could actually be something interesting, and there is something similar to this in Battlefield 4, but it's very minor. I'd like to see a really in-depth, detailed version of this. Now for number 8, I want to see more destruction. Not destruction where I throw a grenade at a wall and the whole wall blows up, but I mean I want to see heavy destruction, heavy explosions cause giant craters in the ground, and the ground even starts off green and, you know, somewhat healthy, but slowly as more explosions go off it creates the giant muddy crater you usually see in World War I. This could even create something of a dynamic in the game as well, where the more craters appear, the more you can hide in them and actually move up without you know, showing yourself to sniper fire the whole time when moving from trench to trench. So within that regard, it could actually be something interesting to see. If they'll do it or not, we'll have to wait and see, of course. So now for number 9, this one again will tear people from community to community, but I want to see less sniper camping. And what I mean by this is I want to see the removal of heavy scopes like 20 and 40 times, because there's only one thing it really does, and that's promote camping at the back of the map for long range shots. The big problem with this is very similar to mortars. You find people just sat at the back of the map shooting at random targets who aren't really contributing to the game but believe they are, because hey look, I'm getting 3 or 4 kills a game and they're all really long range shots, so therefore I must be helping, right? So I don't want to see that at all. I really hate that dynamic, and it's something that honestly bugs me. I don't mind long range snipers who are, you know, looking over the objective and taking out enemies around to then move in, but it absolutely sucks when they just stand around the objective, shoot at everyone, and then stand there and do nothing else. That really bugs me. So now for number 10, the final one, this only really applies to console and in some way PC as well. I want to see the return of split screen and co-op. Battlefield never really has had split screen, and it's something that you can maybe add in, but I definitely do want to see it in, co-op especially. Now I don't want to have Battlefield 3 co-op where you unlock guns through it, because the problem that becomes the only reason you play the co-op. I want to have it so that you get maybe exclusively of patches and things like that. You know, just makes it more entertaining and adds more into the game. I do want to see a third mode, like a survivor mode or something like that. It's debatable if we'll actually have it, but that gives you a good reason then to have a co-op split screen element in the game. Split screen is just something I miss from games, and it's not necessarily the most important thing, but it's just fun to have, and I kind of do miss it from certain games. So like I said at that video, your opinion matters, so go down below and tell me in the comments what you thought of this video. Hopefully I'll have more coming out soon. I did recently pick up Overwatch, but I'm not sure when I'll be able to play it most recently. I'm very busy at the moment, so I'm not sure I'll be able to play it, probably in quite a while, hopefully soon. But until then, my name's been Monsoon, out.